will start with Lisa Cortez.
Hi, thanks for getting me
Hey,
on.
Lisa. Yeah, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Okay. I was somewhere with someone and they told me to look down. I did and noticed the ground was sand, but it had designs in it. Next to it was white sand and it had a different design in it. Suddenly, I was lifted up and carried away.
Somewhere with someone, right?
Right.
So interesting. A lot of times in dreams, when things aren't important, they're blurred or they're gray or they're something that we don't know the details. If it's not important who you're with, then it'll be something like somewhere with someone. And so I just wanted to explain that to people that may be hearing that for the first time and feel like that sounds intentionally vague. Um, so you were told to look down
Yeah.
and you saw designs on the sand.
There was sand and designs in it.
Do you have any idea if you were on the beach or if you're not sure where you were other than that you were
It
somewhere with
surprised me that I saw sand. It surprised me that I saw sand. I don't know where we were, but no, we weren't at a beach. They just told me to look down, and when I did, I it surprised me that I saw it.
okay. All right. Do you have any idea what the designs were?
Um, I'm gonna say like rectangle type design.
Okay. So it wasn't like the fish that the
No.
early
Mm-mm,
Christians would draw in the sand.
mm-mm,
That's the first thing I thought
mm-mm.
of. Okay, so the idea of looking down is the idea of looking at the base, at the floor level, at what's under your feet. Um, the scripture comes to mind, thy word is a light unto my feet, is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. And so that's what this dream is it's bringing illumination to your foundation, to something that you're standing on or that you're walking on. So the rectangle, it doesn't sound like the shapes have much more than a level of ambiguity to bring to the table. So I think it's the idea of examine your foundations. Now, of course, the other thing that comes to mind is the parable of the person that built their house upon the rock versus a person that built their house upon the sand, which I'm sure that's something that you've already figured out.
Right.
Um, so because we don't have any idea who the person was or where you were, there's a lot of context that's left out. So it's more of a general message for you, the idea of look down, examine what you're standing on, examine where you're at. It's interesting too that you said in the dream that you were surprised you were standing on sand. So you
Mm-hmm,
expected to be standing on something else.
mm-hmm.
So the fact that that surprised you, you might need to find out what particular part or area of your life that that's referring to. Now,
Okay.
one of the things that's interesting is you said there was a rectangle. So to me, a rectangle is like the outline or the foundation of a house. There's some houses that are square, but a lot of them aren't really square. They're a rectangle in some way, they're either wider or deeper or whatever. But other than that, we don't get any other idea that it could be a house. I'm just saying it could be the foundation of a house. A house, of course, can mean the destiny, the legacy, the ancestral heritage of your family. It can mean things like that. Look at literally where you've come from, because if you're looking down at the ground, you've obviously walked to get to that place somewhere. And so it's the idea of, looking down and having an understanding of both where you came from and what you're standing on, what would be the launch pad for wherever you're going to go. So,
What about the white sand that was next to it that had a different design in it?
do you know what the design was in the white sand?
Mm-mm.
When you say next to it, where was it exactly?
Well, I guess where I was when I looked down, there was sand, and then I guess there was a definite delineation, a line. Oh, a line in the sand. A
Hmm.
line, and then the other side of it was white sand.
So, like 5 feet away, 10 feet away, right, left, front.
Oh, not very far. I'm gonna say, yeah, maybe 5 to 10 feet away.
On which side?
Am I right?
Hmm. A line in the sand on the right. That's interesting. So again, that's the idea of that could have political overtones to it, of course. But it's something that's a little bit distant from you. It's not something that you're not standing right at the line. The line's 5 feet away. It's off to the side. It's not directly in front of your path. So a lot of times dreams can have multiple meanings.
Mhm.
And so this may be yet another layer of what this dream would mean, which is the idea that presumably a line in the sand is drawn by someone, particularly in the area of conflict or negotiation or diplomacy, right? Somebody draws a line in the sand, and the idea is if you cross it, there's consequences. But a line in the sand is also like a delineation. In Christian terms, a lot of times we view it as a fence. You're on one side of the fence or the other. Get off the fence. You know, you hear terms like that. So a line in the sand means there it could be, or there is coming in the near future. Excuse me. There is coming in the near future a decision that'll have to be made by those on the conservative right.
Mm.
So that's what I get out of that. Like I said, not a whole lot to that, but just some interesting things to take and look at. And remember, of course, dreams are an ongoing conversation with God. So this is just like a sticky note, but it could be part of a bigger discussion.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your dream, Lisa. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.